Listen.
Do you mind if I put my 2 cents in?
No, honey, I don't mind. Call the police immediately.
I don't get it.
No idea what you're talking about. Yes? Hello? Hi, stranger.
I want ham and eggs and flapjacks with lots of butter and syrup and coffee. I'll take the coffee now.
Why have you come here tonight? Rain.
Where's my dough?
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to Vibes and Stuff Live. It's your host, Chuck Allen, with your host, Uncle Freezy, coming to you live on a Tuesday, June 28th. Vibrant Ones, how you doing this morning? Uncle Freezy, how you doing this morning?
Good, bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Good, man. What's good, boss? Hold on.
Man, everything is good, man. I'm glad to be here this morning. Glad to be alive. Glad to be here rocking with you. Glad to be here with you, Vibrant Ones. Salute the Savage NYC in the building. Danny Landis in the building. Vibrant Ones, thank you for coming and joining us this morning. Another day, another dollar.
Yo, everything all right?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. I was looking
Okay.
to see if you.
Okay. Hey, Vibesters, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. You know what I'm saying? Show some love for your boy.
Love.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
Yes, sir.
man. All right. Yeah, man. So I just put up the bat signal.
Okay.
I just put up the bat signal so that people and so everybody know that we here rocking Chuck. I think I'm gonna go from a big boy to a skinny boy. I think I got to.
Hey, man. Ain't that what we trying to do?
Yeah, but not trying to do it the way the man wants us to do it.
Right.
Yeah, the man wants us to stop driving, bro. Gas prices are ridiculous. Gas prices are ridiculous. Hey, y'all, check it out. What somebody put your gas prices in the chat. Somebody put your gas. I'm gonna put gas prices where I'm at in the chat to make y'all laugh. This is how much I'm paying to put gas in my car.
Chef and YK in the building. Yeah, I know gas is high. Golly.
Yeah, man.
I know in the city. I know in the city. Gas. Gas is probably about the same, or it might be a little bit more.
Yeah, man. Get what?
About 40. No, yeah, about 40 cents more. $4.99 a gallon.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Gas prices are skyrocketing out here on these streets.
I think it's gonna what's it called? It's gonna get worse. Like for some reason, after these major events, gas always seems to go up. After the twin tower situation, gas went up, and it went up, and it stayed up, then it flattened out. Because I believe right before then, at the time I was in South Carolina, so gas was $1. Well, a particular gas station that I would go to is called it was called the Hot Spot. Hot Spot.
I must have been your neighbor. I lived down the street from you because I remember a Hot Spot back in the day.
Hot Spot was 99 cents.
Yeah.
And I remember, maybe we're gonna get some gas. Nah, man, I'm about to go over to Hot Spot. Man, Hot Spot all the way over. Yeah, I know where it's at.
Yeah.
It's 99 cents over there.
Yeah, it's worth it though.
I'm gonna drive over there and get that 99-cent gas. And then all of a sudden, the Twin Tower situation happens. Gas jumps up to like $3, $4, $5.
Right.
And then it stays that way for a minute, and then it, kind of flattens out around like 3 and some change, or 2 and some change. Now, I'm like, yo, gas is going to flatten out at this price right here. Like, I don't think it's going to go back down. I think it's going to be this price.
Wow. Bruh. This is crazy.
Wow.
This is crazy. Yeah, this is crazy. Yeah. Back in January, Chuck. Back in January, I bought a pack of thick cut bacon. You know the thick cut bacon that your grandma used to like to make. You know what I'm saying? With Vibesters eggs and grits. Y'all know what. Early on Sunday morning. that old scene when grandma cooking, when grandma got all the grandkids sleeping on the pallet in the living room in the living room by the TV, and she be in there cooking breakfast, and you be smelling that thick cut bacon. Man, there's some grits and some eggs. And yeah. I went and bought some bacon like that from Walmart. Chuck, a pack of thick cut bacon was $18.
Sir, what kind of bacon was that?
I guess it came off a goose or something. That must have been that goose bacon. That
must have been Babe. They got that bacon from that thing.
3 Little Pigs or something. Yeah.
That must have been a talking pig. But anyway,
so when I tell you $18.72, I took a picture of it and sent it to Mo. Mo was like, "What? Something wrong with the price on that thing?" Like thinking like maybe somebody put the wrong price. Like, no, something's wrong with the price, but not how you think.
Yes. Now I wanted to. I was thinking of getting stuff ready for 4th of July. You know what I'm saying? I'm on the phone with Bob Dukes. What we trying to do? What we doing? I want to know so we can get things organized now, because I don't like going to the store the day of getting nothing.
Right.
Let's get this list together so we'll know what we're doing. Right. I said, man, I want some chicken wings. If we can put anything on the grill, chicken wings.
Right.
Man, I looked at a pack of chicken wings, $25. Uncle Freezy.
Right.
Not even the big family pack. I was like, you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can get the drumettes all day, every day, but I'm sick of them. I feel gypped.
Right.
Man, you putting them
Right.
on the grill? Man, get some I don't know, man. I just like the I don't know what that means, but I like the give me my chicken wings so I can pull it apart myself. I don't want these wingettes. These look like these are immature chicken wings. Anyway,
Yeah, man.
20 still $20 for a frozen bag.
Still
wingettes.
$20 for a frozen bag. Hey, and then too, my what concerns me
Yes.
is that they feel comfortable charging us these ridiculous prices for stuff. Right?
What you gonna do?
Pay it because I have no other choice. That's all I could do, Chuck. Pay it. I don't have a choice. Right? I don't have a choice, man. It's one of them situations where, you know, it takes a lifestyle change for you to get right. You know what I'm saying? Like
I'm telling you.
Because okay, so I drive an SUV, right? I drive an SUV, so I have, since I'm tall, I don't really drive cars no more because cars is bad on my knees, right? Cars are kind of bad on my knees, right? So I have SUVs, like a little one and a medium-sized one, right? Right, a little one and a medium-sized one, right? Bruh. Even the little Saturn, bro. Even the Saturn, bro, it's ridiculous right now. What we trying to pay for gas?
Sir, I don't envy you at this point. I know, hey man, you know, I know you got the bread. You know, because behind the scenes, I know you're an angel investor in some things. But nobody wants to go to the gas pump and drop $1.50.
Man, I
On
wish I was an
gas.
angel investor in some things. I wish I had bread like that. You know what I'm saying? I wish I had bread like that. I don't. But yeah, man. Savage NYC says Joe Biden belongs in a nursing home. Joe Biden, you got me, bro. Joe Biden, you absolutely got me. That's about the fourth time you got me. You got me. Right?
What was the first three?
They were related to other stuff like these laws that he helped generate in the early late 80s and 90s, splitting up families. And now got our generations of boys out here dressing like little girls. And then nothing wrong with, and I'm not saying nothing wrong with all that stuff, but I'm saying splitting up these families and stuff over. You got a half ounce of weed, you going to jail for 99 years. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right. Craziness.
Yeah. Thank you, Joe Biden. You know what I'm saying? Y'all and the Clintons and then come back and ask the mama to vote for y'all, and she did it. Yeah.
Because if you ain't black,
yeah,
you ain't voting for him. I'm like, wait.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute, Joe.
Or if you ain't voting for me, you ain't black. What?
Wait, what?
Did you just say that out loud?
Word.
And now gas prices are $5 a gallon. Bacon $18 a pack.
Well, you know, part of that is because we love helping other people with some but we won't help ourselves.
We won't help ourselves.
You know what I'm saying? We sending billions of dollars over to a country that we ain't got nothing to do with.
Mm-hmm.
To any of the younger people in the audience, or maybe people that just aren't in the know, but what Russia is doing with Ukraine, Ukraine used to be part of the Soviet Union.
The Soviet Union.
Okay, I'll give you a one of these famous quotes from the 80s from I don't know what to say about his presidency, but Mr. Gorbachev, tear down those walls.
Right.
So this thing has been going on for the Contra and Sandinistas in the 80s,
right?
And drugs, Oliver North, all that stuff had to do with Russia. We were fighting a indirect war with Russia.
Right.
Russia's been still upset about that.
Yep.
Like this isn't anything new.
Right.
It was only a matter of time before they were gonna, quote unquote reclaim their stuff.
Right.
But so
right.
now because of them, things are going up because we're printing money that we don't have to help people that we don't have no business helping.
Right.
Because guess what? If this is the case, how come when these warlords go on these rampages and run into these villages in Africa and taking children, how come we ain't send no troops over there for that?
Yeah.
Why we ain't helping them people?
Except for places that we've been like Somalia, where when stuff is so bad, like when stuff is so egregious that somebody got to do something. Shout out to our veterans too, by the way. Shout out to our veterans and then our veterans. Shout out to our veterans that's in the vibes and stuff. Lawrence Tears Loop, G-Man, Ron Cleveland, Soulfinger, Anthony A, and those that have served a lot of years, been to a lot of different places, did a lot of things. Some of it they regret. Some of it, they did it, proudly. And then salute to Ashley Inc.
Salute.
Ashley Inc. in the building. Salute, soldier. Yeah, man. Yeah, gas prices are so high right now. I think it's egregious. I think and Joe Biden, I heard Joe Biden say something on TV about 2 months ago where he mentioned oil companies are making record profits every 3 months right now. Every 3 months they're making record profits, right? And the government can't do anything to stop them from gouging the consumer, right? The oil companies are so powerful that they charge you whatever they feel like charging, right? And then they fight the move towards a carbon-free footprint.
Right.
They're fighting the move to electric cars, right? Going in and making the path towards us being not gas free. They fight that movement. They spend millions and millions of dollars fighting that because ultimately, and once we start riding bicycles or driving electric cars, they lose money. And like most companies, they are in the business to make money. And so I don't begrudge them that because most people that go in business to make money. I don't want to take food out of nobody's mouth, except when these companies gouge us, right?
Right.
Shout out to Cully. What's good, Cully?
Curly in the building.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. And for those keeping score about guests coming on the show. So I spoke to the rapper slash R&B artist Supreme Cully about coming on the show at some point for a few minutes to talk about what it's like nowadays to be a rap artist, a hip hop artist in today's entertainment world, right? Hey, shout out to Danny Lee. What's good? DSJ's in the building. What's good? I see you.
Yes, sir.
D'Angelo, what's good? Wayne Peterson is in the building. What's good, y'all?
D'Angelo,
Yeah,
salute.
Yeah, man. Chuck, this thing about gas prices, this thing with gas is it makes you not want to drive. I honestly take less and less trips. I order stuff online a lot now. Right?
Yep. Cause it's just, I mean, it's cheaper. Let the delivery people spend their gas. Cause what I'm ordering is free shipping.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, man, please be prepared for another recession coming. Don't think everything's sweet. You know what I'm saying? Those who are out and about, feeling free, after being cooped up for 2 years, it's coming because they printing money we ain't got. Right. And all these other entities are affected. I don't know how much, because everyone's been ever since 2019, everything has been blamed on the pandemic. Hey, man, paper towels is this high because pandemic. It's taking 2 weeks for this to be delivered to you because of the pandemic. Man, something wrong with our elevator, man. We need somebody to come out here and look at this elevator. Oh, well, someone to get there, but because of the pandemic, it might not be as fast as you would like.
Right.
Man, I want to go out of town, want to get some gas, but gas is high because of the pandemic. I'm like, yo, man, I just feel that you say that it justifies why services is slack or why the prices are high. Right. And I'm like, well, how long can we, stand on that? Right. You know what I mean? Like how long is it going to be because of these things? These things over here are high. Like this is the effects from what pardon me, like I don't know if you can hear that, but they're drilling right outside this window.
Nah, I can't hear that. I can't hear nothing.
Huh?
I can't hear nothing. You good?
Yeah, I can, and that's very loud and very annoying. And I keep pausing because I'm like, yo, I don't know if they can hear me or not.
Nah, we good. We good. Yeah,
all
man. Right. I'm trying to figure this thing out, man.
Okay. I know what I'm gonna do. Oh, go ahead, Rock. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, so guys and gals, what I was gonna say is at some point the American people have to start pushing back on these things that have gotten out of control. And so what is it that an American citizen can do in order to take back control of the things when are we going to get back to basic living? Right? You can't do things. You get stressed on your job. can't even go on vacation because gas prices are so high, right? You can't even you lose kind of like a sense of being, right? You lose a sense of being because things have gotten sideways financially. Like a lot of us are like working and going to school and then I freeze and start buffering. And then I freeze and start buffering right on cue. Right on cue. Right on cue. I freeze and start buffering. Thank you, internet. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. And Danny Lee says gas is $5 a gallon in Maine. Maine, what are y'all doing? Why is gas prices so high in Maine? Yeah, hey man, hey, Sarge says supply chain issues. I get it. I get the supply chain issues, right? I understand supply chain and logistics and stuff. I get that part, right? But here's the thing. Why? Right? Why are we having so many supply chain issues 3 years into the whatever? And Wayne Peterson says at this point, you got to be frugal and self-sufficient. Savage NYC says, stop re-electing career politicians. Right. I'm with you there. But Sav, the thing about career politicians is this. If they are not in office, they're still going to be around Washington and around politics. So even if they don't have that pull directly, they'll have that pull indirectly. You'll start seeing Manchurian candidates, right? So if you stop re-electing career politicians, then you'll start having different parties. It's right now we're partisan as a mug right now, right? Everybody has their groups and cliques and things in Washington, right? But if you stop electing, and this is my opinion, this is just me going off the top of my head. If you stop electing career politicians, all of a sudden things will be more clicked up, right? Because you won't have the relationships between people, right? South BK is in the building. South BK says, stop voting for these people that have no good ideas. I agree with you. Stop voting for people that just say no to everything, especially, right? So this thing right here, especially people that don't like to improve the inner cities, right? These places and where people live and pay these egregious taxes should be the priority when it comes to national improvement, right? Say for instance, you live in a place called Manhattan, right? You got the cheapest rent you can find at $2,600 a month. Your car insurance is going to be $800 a month. To park that car, somebody is going to look out for you because they know you. They're only going to charge you $1,400 a month, right? Gas is going to be $5.20 a gallon, right? Now, knowing this, what you make is probably going to be like what you bring home every month is going to probably be about $50 short of what you pay, you know what I'm saying, to stay in Manhattan, right? $100. Now you have to consider, well, do I stay here in Manhattan where I work, or do I move to Westchester? Do I move to Jersey? Do I move to Connecticut just so I don't get beat over the head by everyday prices? Mr. Vince, what's good? South BK says, I live in Queens, a 1-bedroom. I'm paying $17.25 a month. Yes. This is what I'm talking about. If you live in, and if you paying $17.25 a month and you driving a car, say you work in Manhattan, you got to pay to park your car and then walk 9 blocks in the weather to get to your job. It's borderline obscene. I mean, it's borderline obscene. The things we go through just to survive. And people blame it on, man, I'm in a New York state of mind. No, we being robbed. We being mugged. You know what I'm saying? Life shouldn't be this expensive. Hey, Scott Wolf is in the building. He says, left NY for cheaper living. Florida just as expensive. I know. My baby boy just moved there last month. My baby boy moved to Florida last month. He was like, yo, you know they say Florida don't have state taxes, blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay, all right, man. Hey, okay. You sure you want to do this? He's like, yep. Okay. Now he like, hey, Pa, did you know Florida was this expensive? Yes, I knew that. I knew that. Life is expensive, man. Like things are so, the cost of living is so out of hand right now that it makes you wonder what living is. Should a man or woman have to work 60 hours a week to pay bills? Should a man or woman have to work 45, 50, 55, 60 hours a week just to survive? And then at what level of surviving? Things have gotten so out of hand with cost that you know, it makes you wonder, are we even living anymore? Are we becoming animals?
I think we're becoming animals. And when I say that, anyone who's ever, you know, worked on a farm or worked with livestock, if you have if this is going to be your source of food, then you're not going to just get one hog. You're going to get 2. You're going to get a male and a female, and you're going to keep having piglets. So there's a continuous source of food, right? So I want to be rich. In order for me to be rich, I need to have my people in order for that. Like, my business only is successful for those who patronize my business. So I got to keep you guys working so I can be, you know, able to fly
Profitable, yeah,
to Dubai at the drop of a dime. I need to be able to afford a $100 million yacht,
Right.
and I won't buy it until we're in a recession, and then I'm gonna take pictures from my enormous yacht so everyone can see. Um, it's about keeping people sheep, man. Keep them working. Uh, make them spend money for things that they can get for free.
Right. Right.
People's diets would change once they have to start killing their own food.
Oh, I know it. I know it.
Trust and believe, man. Like I'm really thinking about moving somewhere where I can get me a patch of grass where I can start growing my own cucumbers and tomatoes and lettuce and things like that, man.
Right.
Because I believe we're going to get to a point where we're going to need to have those skills because it's going to be expensive, too expensive to walk in a grocery store.
Right. And feel safe.
Yeah.
So prices are out of hand. You don't feel safe going out in public, right? Right. You can't trust anybody, right? You what are we doing out here now? Right? I think we are in and I hate to say it because it's like it seems like we say it every 3 years. I think we're in a place where wholesale changes need to be made in how our environment is being run politically. We need wholesale. See, because the thing is this: veterans serve, they go, they get stuff like PTSD and things like that, and the government's like, yeah, we'll throw you a little something, right? Go fight for me, and then I'll blah blah blah. Or for those that don't, maybe for those that have, some people have never worked. They've been on the system their entire lives, 5, 6, 7 generations on welfare, right? Then you have others that have the upper hand just because of their privilege, and they'll say, well, I work hard just like everybody else. How come you struggle with it? Y'all blame everything on such and such. Nah, man, come on. So you got all these things out here. You have all these things out here, man, going on. We talk about this stuff like every 3 years, and then nothing happens.
Yes, sir.
Chuck, you see what Sav wrote? He says, what are your thoughts on stopping the rising crime? It's crazy here in New York.
Man, there's so much that I want to say if you give jobs, if there were more jobs. But here's the thing: what I've learned, there's a generation of people that just don't want to work.
Right.
I don't care. I don't care if it's the easiest job in the world. They still don't want to do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Work ethic has gone, has dwindled as the generations start to unfold. Think about like when I was younger. You know what I'm saying? In order for me to get out of Skippies, because like my mom just didn't believe in that stuff. It wasn't like we didn't have money. She was just like, I'm not going to spend my money on that because there's 3 of y'all. Right. We're going to be efficient. So if you don't want no, Arizona Gene Company, or you don't want to go school shopping at Favor, then you're gonna have to do something. And you know what I did? Chuck started bagging groceries.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
Saturday, while everybody outside playing, 7 o'clock in the morning, I'm in front of the store.
Food Town.
Food Town, C-Town, Associated, man, I Pioneer,
Yep.
Bahalo, it didn't matter. I was there. Whatever the store was, because the store across the street from my mom has been all kinds of places over the years.
Every name. Food Town turned into Associated, and then your ShopRights and your Pathmarks and your man.
But I would bag groceries, man. If I stayed from 7 to 7, I could make between $100, $150. Bagging groceries and making deliveries.
Right.
Because Saturday morning, people are doing their grocery shopping for the month or whatever. So some people need, help taking bags home. That's $7 to $10. Whatever they decide to tip you. That was back when people used to tip. You could make some decent money. So I had stuff. So I understood the value of the dollar. Like when we would come to South Carolina for the summers, we washing cars for money. Like everyone always had like some type of hustle. Like there was a golf course right near the railroad tracks. So that because they were so close in proximity, golf balls would end up on the train tracks.
Yep.
And so we would go out there with 5-gallon buckets and pick up all those balls, wash them, and then stand there and sell those golf balls on the golf course. And we were killing because we didn't really know how much them golf balls cost. Hey man, you can get $4. I didn't know these top flight balls were way more in the store.
Mugged. You didn't know you was getting mugged. Dudes like me coming through, keep the change, Chuck. Dudes like me, like, hey, little fella, keep the change. Knowing I'm robbing this dude. You know what I'm saying?
I'm like, man, bro, making money. Do you remember in the late 80s, early 90s where graffiti on clothing was the thing? Like Bart Simpson was the thing?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. We're gonna go to Family Dollar and get these markers. We're gonna get these white t-shirts and we're gonna draw. Everybody.
Freehand.
Everybody was buying them shirts from us, man.
Yeah.
Everybody was buying them shirts, man. We made a lot of because back then, we would go to the like a treat. My aunt would take us to the video store, right? And at the video store, you could get 7 movies for $8 or something like that, right? So everybody got a chance to get, pick a movie, and you'll get little snacks out there, the popcorn, whatever. Now, man, everybody get 2 movies. Why? Because we got money. So we learned. Yes. I said all that to say, like, we understood, you got to get out here and make some money if there are things that you want. Right. Kids that are younger than my brother, man, work. Why you can't just give it to me?
Right.
And then those people grow up to be, I ain't doing this. I ain't doing that.
Yeah.
And it's like, but you ain't doing nothing. Excuse me. You ain't doing nothing. You just, I don't know how you have a job, quit a job because of a job that you ain't even got yet. Yeah, man, I'm working here at the warehouse, but I'm going to stop because I want this security job. Well, how about get the security job first? Then quit.
Yeah.
Nah, man, I don't want to do all that. So I said, I told all of that just to say, like, there's a segment of people that don't want to work, right? So bringing jobs to the city doesn't necessarily guarantee that there will be no more crime or to cut down on crime. I feel like people are just doing stuff out of spite right now, like cutting people in the face for no reason. Just sitting on a train, get cut, standing there waiting for the G train, A train, the R train. You could get shoved on the tracks.
Yep.
You could be an old lady walking down the street, minding your business, and get punched in the face for nothing.
Yep.
I don't think, the economics have anything to do with that. I think there's a lot of mental health stuff going on, and the city don't know how to deal with it. That's my take.
It's ill-equipped. It's ill-equipped. See, because for one, police officers should deal with crime, and mental health people should deal with mental health, right? But when your neighbors don't know what is a crime and what is a mental health deal, they call the police, right?
Exactly.
And then a lot, like for instance, down here in the South, say for instance, there's a car accident. The county is sending the police, the fire department, and the ambulance. Right? And a lot of these people don't even pay. A lot of people will rather get their state tax return taken than pay the ambulance. So now that ambulance company has to wait all year to get that money back. You feel me? So it's like all these strange things going on, man. It's making me feel sad, man. I ain't gonna hold you. Hey, and Sav says bad or no parenting is killing the country. Yes, but a lot of that has to do with Joe Biden and folks that did. Hey, listen, I like Joe Biden personally, right? I don't know why. I don't know why I shouldn't, but I do, right? But a lot of this stuff is the byproduct of things that happened in the early 90s when you split up families.
Right.
So, yeah, man.
But that was the plan, and I don't understand why others don't see it. Like there was a system put in place to do exactly what it's doing now. And that happened the day that slavery ended. Because guess what? There was no such thing as the police before then.
I know.
Right?
Yeah.
There was no need for that. But now you got all of these free men and women walking around. Oh no, we got to have a system in place. If you don't have papers, you don't have a place to stay, and you think you're going to sleep on the side of this road, nah, that's a felony. You're going to jail.
Yeah. That's how I got my last name, Chuck. That's how I got my last name. My last name is Free, right? So my I keep forgetting. It's like either my great grandfather. Anyway, one of my family members was that slave that always ran away, but always got drunk and got caught. And the slave owner, Mr. Thompson, right? The slave owner, Mr. Thompson, loved his slaves, like legit treated them kind of like family, but not quite. Right? Like there were plantations all over the United States where slave owners treated slaves like dogs, right? Less than a dog. Feed the dog first and then the slave second, right? But our family, we were and I don't know where we from in Africa. People be asking me like, where'd your family come from I don't know that. I don't know. I can't get to the root of it. Right? It's frustrating. right? So I consider myself American, right? Because after a certain point, it's like no matter where you came, everybody came from somewhere. Even people in Africa came from somewhere, right? So my deal is they might have came from a different place in Africa, but anyway, my a family member of mine named Jim was the the slave that didn't know. He valued freedom over everything else. All he wanted to do was drink, make babies, and be free, right? And I'm not saying this to say to make this thing popular or whatever. It's just what it is. Like everybody in a family have family members that are different.
Yes.
Right? That are different. And you can't make them be like you, and you don't want to be like them. You just let people be themselves, right? So Jim was a slave. He didn't want to work. The only thing he wanted to do was be free. He just wanted to be a wanderer. He just wanted to go live off the land, right? Mr. Thompson and them would do head count in the morning, and then we missing one, right? And everybody know the one that's missing. Before you put them out in the field, you count everybody up, right? Before you put everybody in the field, you count them up, right? One missing, right? And so they, oh, hell, Jim done ran away, right? So they sent out all these things. They look for Jim. They look for him. They look for him 2 or 3 days. They find him. They find him like 3 counties over by the creek. He done got drunk off of berry wine. You know how you make your berry wine back then? He out there drunk and passed out at the creek, damn near about to drown, right? Laid up beside the creek, the water, the creek washing up against his face, and he like, you know, like, oh, man. And he wake up and he stand up, and it's Mr. Thompson people. They put him on back of the wagon, drag him on back to the thing, and preach to him like, Jim, listen, it's not safe out here for you. You a slave. If somebody else catch you, they might kill you. And Jim was like, hey, man, a man is meant to be free. And Mr. Thompson like, but Jim, you not a man. You a slave. You my property. You not a man. You property. Right? And so Jim, he'll get back to the plantation. They'll beat him in front of everybody. You know what I'm saying? All his kids, they'll pull all his kids out, all the family out, and they'll beat him, you know, down to a tree, beat him, whatever. But Jim was tough. That's our buffering just now, huh?
Yeah, I thought it was me, but I had my mic on mute, and I'm like, oh, that's me.
That was me. Something happened with the, but yeah, so they bring Jim back, pull out all his family, all 80 or 90 of them. Everybody, the girls out there want to cover their eyes. The little boys is out there want to cover make everybody watch. They beat Jim, right? Yeah. And they do it not as a lesson to Jim, but listen, this is what's gonna happen to y'all if y'all do this, right? And so Jim was hurt by it. He was like, I don't want to see my family see me get beat for wanting to be free. But a man got to live a free life, right? Right. And so and finally, emancipation come, and Jim gathered his family. He like, hey, we got freedom. It's time for us to go. And so what happened is, most of the family was so scared of what was off the plantation that they took the jobs that Mr. Thompson offered them. Like, hey, I can't keep y'all here slaves no more, right? But what I'll do is I'll give y'all a piece of land and y'all work it. And at the end of the year, I'll pay y'all for it. Right? Sharecropping, basically. Most of the family stayed. Jim left. Right?
Right.
And so Mr. Thompson was like, they wrote on a piece of paper, this is the, they're trying to make it official. This is the former slave. And so they tried to give, Jim from the Thompson plantation. So his name would have been Jim Thompson. Jim was like, no, I'm not taking your name. I'm like, Jim, you got to have a surname. And he was like, I have a name, sir. It's Jim. He's like, no, stupid. Not a name, sir, a surname. He's like, but I have a name, sir. He's like, well, what is your name? It's Jim. No, you can't. So basically, the way I'm telling the story is you can understand. See, he wasn't educated, no formal schooling, couldn't read, couldn't write, none of that. Couldn't read, couldn't write, none of that, right? So Mr. Thompson was like, your name is Jim Thompson. He's like, no, my name ain't no Jim Thompson. I'm not taking your name. Right? And he's like, well, what's your name gonna be? He's like, a man is supposed to be free. A man is born free. I'm Jim Free. Right? So that's my name. That's my family name. Last name Free. Right? That's why I go by Uncle Freezy. That's well, you know how your homeboys get your name? Like they'll be like, hey, what's good, Chucky? And you're like, my name ain't no Chucky.
My name is Clarence.
Yeah. But you all who people call you. You know what I'm saying? Just like so you know what I'm saying? So my family left the plantation. Like, so it was at that time, it was probably about 200 of them, right? About 200 of them, right? So about 20 of them left, everybody else stayed. Right?
Right.
And then about 10 or 15 of them stayed in South Carolina. And then others moved to Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, Georgia, Florida. You know what I'm saying? They migrated further south, which was dumb. I'm like, why did y'all migrate further south? This is so dumb. Looking for work and all that stuff. So you got people, and so I got family members all over the South, right? Last name Free, right? And all of them, and Chuck, all of them, the funny thing is all of them are not black. A lot of them are white. They got the name. I don't know. It's weird, right? So my man stops my family member on the road asking what his name is. His name is Jim. What's your surname, boy? My name is Jim, sir. No. What's your surname? Sir, my name is Jim. He like, I did this whole thing. So finally they make him put it on paper. He put it down on paper and he write Jim Free. And then from then on, everybody that was born from that man had that last name Free. And we all over the South, all over the North, all in Yemen, all in New York, all the people you see with the last name Free, they all come from one place. Right? All the people you see last name Free in Brooklyn, New York, you know where they came from. Right? All the people in New Jersey, Baltimore, DC, Los Angeles, all these different places. They come from, or if their name is indeed that, they may come from that place. I'll put it to you like that. You know what I'm saying? And so while it seems like a random name, we did a name search about 10 years ago. Mm-hmm. Like because I was like, man, this name is rare because we don't hardly see it. Because we think the last name Thompson, we thought the last name Thompson would be more popular than the last name Free. But not really. Not really. You know what I'm saying? Because that would have been my last name if my ancestor had taken that name, taken the slave name, but he didn't. He chose not to. He didn't know none of his roots from people because he was born a slave in America. He wasn't brought here. right? He was born a slave, and his people were born slaves. And as far as we go back, I think our family has been here like since 1700s, maybe early 1700s, like early like 1720s or something like that, 1700s, something like that. And so, but we don't have like a line, but we know our family existed before that, but we don't have a link to that.
Right.
And a lot of us struggle with that because we don't know who our family is, and we don't know our culture, what our religions were, what our customs were, and all that stuff. So we make up stuff now on the fly. We have our own customs. Like we celebrate stuff, like we celebrate American stuff like Christmas. Celebrate
Right.
American stuff like Thanksgiving and 4th of July and things of that sort, because we don't know what our family members celebrated before that. We don't know what our customs were, what our language was, what our religion was. And so we have adopted all the American stuff, just like a lot of Black people in this country, like a lot of minorities in this country. We've adopted the American way. And the sad part to it is you would hope that since we adopted the American way that we would be accepted fully, you know what I'm saying, as Americans, since we contribute so much to the American way of life. But we don't always get that. Our kids, these generations now, not only are they detached from the American way, they're detached from their culture too. They're creating their own cultures. You know what I'm saying? Like creating their own stuff on the fly. You know what I'm saying? And you can't really blame them because they're confused about a lot of stuff. Like their mental health issues are not mental health issues out of anger. It's out of confusion. You know what I'm saying? Like who am I? You know what I'm saying? Like think about this. How often do you see? Okay, I'll give you an example. How many people that you know of have extensive sneaker collections?
I know quite a few. Quite a few people.
And when you ask them, like, why are you collecting so many sneakers? Like, what's the point? You not got to be fresh, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just be wearing the same pair of sneakers every day. You know what I'm saying? And I saw these pair right here. They was only $440. So I had to cop them. Right? But they don't own land.
Priorities.
You own 300, 400 pair of sneakers, and you don't own land. Right?
Right.
You own an extensive jersey collection. You have at least 100 NBA, MLB, NFL jerseys, even the limited editions, the throwbacks, the alternates, right? But you don't own land. And when I say own, I don't mean in the process of purchasing. I don't mean mortgaging. I mean, you don't own it outright. There's no trustee involved. There's no lawyer involved. You know what I'm saying? There's no, you know what I'm saying? None of this escrow type stuff going on, right? Like right now, I own property. Like Chuck, you remember like when we first started, and I told you I bought Easy Walkers off the internet. Remember that? I showed you the shoes that I bought off the internet.
Yes, sir.
Right. So I bought these cheap $30 sneakers to walk around in, right? But I own land and property. Right. And so I do that intentionally. Like I don't listen, would I like to have an elite sneaker collection? No, not really. That don't even bother me. Right? Because I know who I am and I know who my family is. And I'm careful about the friends that I select. Right? And I'm careful about the people that I'm around. And I do that because I don't want somebody creating a false sense of worth, to me. Like I always be the realest I can be all the time. Right. And I want to be surrounded by people that do that. You feel me? Like how are you gonna say, man, listen, you know what I'm saying? I got 200 jerseys. I got all the jerseys and stuff. But then you don't own 5 or 6 cars. Something that really has worth to it, something that has worth. Right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. It's so when we talk about crime, and crime comes in all shapes and sizes, like, you know what I'm saying? There's your brutal crimes, like you said, like people pushing people in front of trains, slashing people in the face, right? Then you have your robberies, right? Then you have your drug selling and all these things. I don't think it's all linked to, like what you said previously. I don't think it's all economically based. I think it's a mental health issue and some self-worth issues.
Yes, sir.
Like, you ever been around the dude that been to jail 3 or 4 times and he don't know how to cope on the streets in daily life?
Absolutely. Because they end up in jail within the next month or two. Like,
Yeah.
didn't Daryl just come home?
Right.
Yeah, man. He going back.
He violated probation.
Yeah.
Or something.
Something stupid. You know you ain't supposed to be over there. You know they put you on a curfew. What you doing out here, man?
Right. Meanwhile, being on probation is man, being on probation is the. I know a man is supposed to be free, but being on probation, bro, is like the biggest trap. Do you know how expensive everything in that parole and probation thing? You have to pay for it out of pocket, bro. The state ain't paying for nothing. You paying for everything. You got to pay to be on probation. What kind of shit is that? You got to pay to be free? Then are you really free?
Are you?
Yeah, man. It's one of these things. It's why, like, when I get in these chats and like when I do the KMD and other shows, man, I try to present myself. I try to be myself. You know, a lot of times, and you know what it is when you talk about topics. Sometimes, like y'all know how to get me riled up. Y'all know this, all you got to do is say Leon Rose is smart, and then all of a sudden I go off the deep end. Y'all know how I go. Like Chef NYK can say, or Pudge Nice can say something like, "Hey man, Uncle Freeze, you tripping? Leon Rose is a genius," and I go off the deep end, like, "Oh boy, you don't know nothing." You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, you know what I'm saying, I try to share my experiences and my life stories with folks so that they'll know that they are not the only one that's walking this hard walk on the rocky road. Like, Chuck, you ever had people around you that no matter what it is that you try to strive for, they try to crush your confidence?
Sorry about that. Say that one more time. I heard the confidence part.
You ever had people around you that no matter how positive you try to be, and no matter what you try to strive for, your dreams or whatever, they try to tear you down and try to break up your confidence?
Yep. Well, what you bought that Cutlass for, man? Man, you don't know how to work on no cars, man.
Right.
How do you
Right.
know?
What you doing music for? That's stupid. You need to get a job.
Like, oh my goodness, you know exactly what I need to be doing. Thank you. Thank you for that advice. Yeah, man. Anything you say, they have a reason why you can't do it. And I'm like, okay.
Right.
But what I realize is that that's just self projection.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because they can't see themselves doing it. So there's no way you
Right.
should be able to do it. Well, no, you can't do this because I can't do it. I'm like, man, if you don't get the out of here,
Right.
I think that's just people's insecurities, people's I don't know. I don't know the word. I don't know the word I'm looking for right now.
Right.
But I understand where you're going.
Right. They'll see a positive brother like yourself. They'll see a positive brother like yourself. And they'll be like, yeah, he got a morning show where every morning his show gonna get about 100 views. He gonna have like 15 or 16 people rocking with him every day, and it's growing. It's growing because nothing starts off like gangbusters. It's growing. They'll see you doing music, maybe being able to score a movie. You know what I'm saying? Maybe get some connections to do some other stuff where you might be, and I don't say this disrespectfully, but you might be able to be the granddaddy of a young artist coming up and be a mentor for them and help them develop into something greater than they otherwise would have if they had tried to do it alone. And they'll see that stuff and they'll be like, man, what's Chuck doing? You know, Chuck, you better drink this white Henny and get turned up. You out here worried about, man, listen, you better enjoy yourself. You know what I'm saying? Instead of saying, hey, Chuck, that road you on going to be hard, but whatever it is I can do to help support you, bro, let me know. Yeah, I think positive brothers are looked at nowadays, positive men and women are looked at nowadays like simps. Like you are a simple human being if you try to be positive and try to project a positive image. Right? Mr. Vince says, you know, God bless you for sharing that story. And man, it was, hey, Mr. Vince, it's the joint that's been on my heart, man. I'll be trying to like what I'll do is share this stuff. It's not flattering because who wants to talk about their ancestors that was a slave? That was terrible at being a slave. I have an ancestor that was a slave that was terrible at slaving. You know what I'm saying? But it's true. Like I got an ancestor that was a slave that was terrible at slaving. But it's true.
I'm sorry. The way you said that was funny. Not the subject matter, but with the way you said it. The way you said it was funny. But
it's real though. It's real though. The thing is with our people, we say keep it real, but we keep lying to ourselves often.
But why do we do that? Why do we lie to ourselves? You know you can't get better. First of all, before I get into that, absolutely, Uncle Freeze is a great storyteller. That's why Chuck be sitting there and just shutting up and not trying to interject and get in there because Uncle be on the roll and I be interested, man. At times I just want to put my hands on my face and just, rest my elbows on my knees and just get into the story, man. That is an amazing story. And I think it's dope that you know that story, right? How you got your name.
Right.
Because history is important. You know what I mean? There's power, there's meaning in a name. That's why I have issues with some parents that make up names for their kids just to be unique.
Yes.
And then you can tell that they just unique because like I ain't never heard of I have never heard of anyone other than the singer named Wanye. And I'm like, what is a Wanye?
Yeah. Right.
You know what I mean? But
it's our self-esteem issue. It's our self-esteem issue. It's we don't have self-esteem, right? We don't have self-worth. That's why we wear our net worth around our neck in a chain that looks so egregious. That's why Slick Rick is wearing his net worth around his neck. Right?
Right. We got to show you, man. We gotta show you we're just not regular people, man. Look at me. You know, I learned a while, man. When you look at a while ago, when you look at someone and it looks like they're wearing everything that they own, they ain't got nothing.
All at once.
Yeah, they don't have nothing. Like, I'm telling you, man. I have an appreciation for having stuff. Like we weren't poor, but we always had. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like even if it wasn't the the most, at least we had something, and we were always grateful for that. I think they pumped this mentality into the people of you need more stuff to feel better about yourself.
Right.
Because even during those times where your ancestors got their name free, there were people who got free, and as soon as they got money, they bought stuff they didn't necessarily need. Yep. Like I was reading stories of how, slaves would buy fancy new wooden wheels for their wagons.
Right.
You know what I mean? Instead of buying the land that they were working.
Right.
You know what I mean? So yeah, you got some nice rims on your car that you bought out somebody's yard that you paid $10,000 to get painted and another $5,000 to get the interior done. But this double wide got duct tape on it, sir.
Right.
Make it make sense to me.
Right. My great grandfather was a sharecropper, right? In the same county I live in right now. On my mother's side. Right. My great grandfather was a sharecropper, right? He worked for Mr. McCown for 20 years, and at the 15 years, something like that. And at the end of every season, he would owe Mr. McCown money. So he was like in this trap that he couldn't get out of. And so my great grandmother, right, the one that kind of, and I tell it, I don't know if this is completely true, but this is kind of how I remember it. My great grandmother kind of reminded me of Della Reese. Not touched by Angel Della Reese either. I'm talking about
Harlem Nights.
Yes. Yes, right. That Della Reese, right.
That's my favorite Della Reese.
Yeah. And so my great grandfather was humble, right? Mm-hmm. Could read a little bit, could write a teeny bit, right? Freemason like myself. That's the reason why, like, it's important for us to keep certain things in our family, like Freemasonry and stuff. Like this whole, like I'm a legacy person, right? And I'm hoping my sons will be a legacy thing too, to take this thing to keep the thing going, right? But he used to work every season and then owe Mr. McCown money, right? And she was like, "How you work all season and then all we get is a hog at the end?" Chuck, all you get is a hog. You work. Think about this. You work 10 straight months in the field every day, getting up at dawn, coming home at dusk every day. And then at the end of the year, all you get is a hog, right? And then owe money. Well, you owe me $7.13. Well, I'll make it up to you next year, boss. Right? That's the agreement. I'll be soon as the stuff, we'll make. And so Mr. McCown had somebody legit working his fields, right? and paying him to work the field. Not paying you for your work, but you paying him at the end of the season, right? So my great-grandmother, now this is the 40s, Chuck. Now think about what I'm saying. In the 40s, in the middle of the night, my great-grandmother and great-grandfather get into an argument. She was like, don't you take your ass back out there and work that field. He was like, I gotta work. This is what a man is saying. I gotta work. And I understand what he's saying. Because a man, part of his self-worth is making a living. Right? She tried to talk to my great-grandfather. He didn't listen. She got up in the middle of the night with a torch, walked to Mr. McCown's house, and said, we not working for you no more unless you give us land. And he looked that lady in the eye, and he could have had her killed. Who you think you is? You gonna bang on my door in the middle of the night? I'm white. Black lady come up threatening me. But he didn't. You know what he did? He's like, well, okay. Every year, at the end of every year, I'll give y'all, if y'all work, same work, I'll give y'all 5 acres. Right? So then it begins. My great-grandfather do the same work. At the end of the season, he get 5 acres. And then 5 acres. After 10 years of working, now mind you, at this time, I think my grandfather was in his 40s. So he had been working out there since he was a man. Right? He had been working out there since he was a man. So he had been out there working since he was like 12. You know what I'm saying? So in his 40s, after all these years, I'm sorry if I get all the timelines and stuff mixed up. But anyway, when he passed away, he had accumulated about 230 acres from Mr. McCown. Right? Just working the same thing every day, every year. Right? So if it wasn't for my great-grandmother, Santa's like, no, our family is not going to do this. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to work. Because I think my grandfather passed away. He was like in his like 58, 59, something like that. And so, and I might have the number, the timeline wrong, how long he worked and all that stuff. I know he accumulated over 200 acres of land and all that stuff just by working and grinding. And his ancestors, right, 2022, his ancestors, like 70 years, 60-something years, 70 years after he passed away, Chuck, his ancestors, they don't even care about the land. They out here trying to be fresh. They got the new white Jordan 11s. They don't care nothing about their land. They don't even care nothing about that working stuff. Right? And so it's like it puts you in this situation. It's to put you in this mindset like that man, your ancestor worked for all that stuff. And y'all out here, y'all don't want to do nothing but sit in your mama yard and smoke weed.
That's it.
And then if somebody from another race call them shiftless and lazy, they get offended.
Racist.
Yeah.
And also people's reality is distorted. Everybody think they can be rich, but no one wants to put in the work for it. It's just supposed to happen, and I feel like this affects this is affecting sports too, directly and indirectly,
right?
Because I feel like a lot more people are getting into the league. The younger guys, they're just there for the check, so they can floss on social media, so they can show, people how better they're living. Because you don't see the same work ethic.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, because even some of the conversations that we have about bringing in certain free agents or signing certain players and how much that contract is going to cost us. And we argue over the numbers because it's like, bro, for $25 million, like, do you understand? They were giving Michael Jordan a hard time when Chicago started giving him $30 million for 1 year.
Right.
That's Michael Jordan.
That's Michael Jordan. That's the GOAT.
That we complain about. Meanwhile, Russell Westbrook, Chris Paul, John Wall, James Harden, all are making upwards of $40 million a year. Right? But you don't see the Jordan, work ethic in James Harden.
No.
That will to win, that I'm going to do anything to win. So you have a lot of these kids that just want to kick it. Right. Like, work ain't something that, I have to do. And I don't know if that's their upbringing, like they didn't have to get jobs. And I think it's don't get me wrong. If you're doing well in life, you did all the right things, you went to school, you got the good job, you
honed your craft,
right?
You put your apprentice,
right?
All of that, yeah.
And you're saying, hey man, I have my family, my kids ain't gonna be out there, busting they hump like I used to do when I was younger, cutting grass and asking people if they have odd jobs. I'll move that hornet's nest. Just give me a couple dollars. I'll do it. I'll move it for you. Whatever. Yeah. Now I can just buy my son a car. He don't have to go out there and try to save no money to get it.
He don't know hard times. He don't know hard times.
Right. I ain't mad at you if you don't want your kids to, to feel that struggle, right? I get that. And I'm not knocking you as a parent, but sometimes, man, I think rolling your sleeves up and getting your hands dirty every now and again just puts things in perspective, and you don't take things for granted. You feel me? When you got to pay for stuff, man, you better turn them lights off.
Yeah.
Or when you was at your mama's house, Ma, come on, Ma, it's just the light. Yeah, but there's a bill that you don't know nothing about. Bill. But once you start paying your own bills, man, good God, look at this light bill. Yeah. Hey, man, turn that light off. Yeah. Hey, man, right. you become more cognizant of those things. And I'm just saying that struggle, not even struggle, because that's not the right word I want to use, but work ethic, man, has to be instilled in you. It just does. I'm gonna tell you something. My uncle said this to me one time, and I cursed him out the whole time I was out there. My uncle said, it was like November, end of November, getting ready to go to the summer. My uncle said, y'all need to go out there and bust up some wood.
All right.
Bust up some wood.
Man,
I ain't no Paul Bunyan. I ain't going out there so we out there cutting wood, Uncle Freezy.
Right.
and if you don't chop wood right, you don't have gloves and you ain't chopping wood right, you'll tear your hands up real quick.
Up.
You'll tear them up.
Yeah.
Right. And so my hands are sore up. My hands are sore. My uncle said, chopping that wood will help you build character. I said, this just said build character.
Yeah.
But what it did teach me was, don't wait till it get this cold to go out there to chop wood. You know why? Because it makes chopping wood harder, right?
Yep.
Start doing this earlier, right? Have a wood pile already chopped up. So when it's time for that, hey man, all you got to go to the wood pile, grab you a couple logs, bring them on in the house, put them on in the fireplace. That's what he was talking about, being prepared, knowing that you got to do some hard work. So go ahead and get it done.
Get it done.
Get it done.
Yeah.
Don't wait to the last minute, because now it's harder because you don't waited to the last minute. And I think that helps shape your character in the future. Hey, man, I know I got to be work at 8 o'clock. I shouldn't be leaving my house at 8 o'clock trying to get to work. 7:45, I should be pulling in the parking lot, getting ready to clock in. Those kinds of things. You know what I'm saying? Small things that instill that kind of work and help and character. I know that's contrary to this morning. I had some difficulties this morning, but
things happen. Things happen.
Right. Being prepared. I really appreciate, my homeboys on the block used to kill me every time I would come back from South Carolina. Man, y'all was down there eating possums and squirrels. I was like, no, we weren't.
Right. Hey, Chuck. Yeah, Chuck, why would he think that though? Why would you think that?
For watching stupid stuff like the Beverly Hillbillies.
But every state has woods, bro. Have you been to upstate New York?
New York? Yes.
You ever been to New Jersey?
Yes.
You ever been to Pennsylvania, Connecticut? Every state has woods, bro. People kill you with the country thing. They like, man, that country, bro. You ever been to Westchester? So soon as you get out the city,
soon as you get out the city, raccoons are waving at you. How you doing?
Yeah, man. So you ever been to Long Island? Man, come on, bro. Yes. Don't do. I have family on the. Matter of fact, the great grandmother that I mentioned, that I talked about, the one that told my great grand after he passed away in the late 50s, in the early 60s, she moved to Long Island. Right. And I had uncles there. I think all of them may have passed away now because they got older. Right. But they started families out there. And the funny thing about them is I don't even know them. And they don't even know me. Right. And they walk around as Knicks fans. Right. They walk around as Knicks fans and probably watching and don't even know that I'm their cousin. You know what I'm saying? Man, I be watching this thing, man. Uncle Freezy, man, Florence Tears, man. You know what I'm saying? He be on there lying on the roads and blah, blah, blah. And they probably don't even know I'm their cousin. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I just wanted to throw that out.
Yes, sir. So, in your opinion, what, if anything, that needs to change to help kind of steer this ship into the right direction? Is there anything that we can do as a people, as parents, as individuals to help turn this thing around? Because I think if we don't, things get worse. Because people are already robbing and stealing and doing stuff now. I can only imagine when times get harder. You know what I'm saying? Because I know with some people, with some people, man, when times get hard, when they don't have much, they know how to hunker down and survive without having to go out and do stuff to other people. You know what I mean? Rabbit stew ain't that bad.
Nah, Cuda stew either.
Bro, I can't even. Some of y'all might be grossed out, but when he said coulda stew,
yeah, it's
we talking about turtles.
It's turtle. You cook it in the shell.
Yeah, but
you stew it. You stew it in the shell, bro. My grandmother lived for that. I remember Big Daddy found a Cuda one time, and Grant was excited. She's like, "Oh boy!" And I was like, "Ew." How big it is? How big it is? Hey, Big Daddy held that thing up like this,
Oh
and
Lord.
she's like, "Oh boy!" And so the weird thing is about the turtle. People don't know is after you know what I'm saying, you slaughtered the turtle and all that stuff. The heart stayed beating for a long time. Like the heart is so strong. It stayed beating for a long time. Like you know what I'm saying, you slaughter the turtle, you know, you dress it, right? And you look, is that bowl moving? The bowl's still moving. That heart is like, mm, mm, mm. And you go, you know what I'm saying, you can walk to the mailbox and talk to somebody and come back and that thing be on the table like, mm, mm. And I'm like, what the fuck? that thing's still beating. They're like, yeah, man, you ain't know that. Turtles got strong hearts, bro. Turtles got strong hearts, man. That thing be, you know what I'm saying? You go to town and come back and you look, that thing still holding on.
Hey man, you know what, man? Because turtles live a long time, man.
Yeah, man.
Turtles live a long time. If you see a big turtle like that, that turtle been here for a while.
Yes.
That turtle been here for a while. He ain't no newcomer. Yeah, man. I know some people are probably grossed out right now, probably sipping their coffee, eating their breakfast right now. Like, what is these fellas talking about? Hey, man. Living off the land is something a lot of people will not be able to handle. But you know, if you did that, if you did that, you could save a lot of money. Think about this, man. Before there was a welfare system where people had, you know, could rely on, you know, getting, you know, food stamps or some vouchers to get, you know, the basic necessities. Man, it was about going out there in them woods and coming back with something to eat. Whether if it's a couple of squirrels or possum or some turtles or some fish, like you had to make it do what it do.
Yeah.
Because there was no office that you could go to and get any assistance. So self-sufficiency, man, I think that's one thing that we need to get back to. But another thing, when it comes to, as we're talking about these things and relating them to the crime, mental health. Somebody put on Twitter the other day, Batman was really out here doing karate on the mentally ill, and I was like, what? And then I got it. It was like, yeah, because you know what? Everybody that Batman did battle with ends up at Arkham Asylum.
Right.
And I was like, you know what? Yes, there are a lot of jokers out there. Right. There are a lot of penguins out there. There's just a lot of people out there that are unstable, whether it be from upbringing, whether it be from drug use, whether it was their parents who abused drugs while they were, you know, conceiving them.
Right.
There are people with PTSD. There are people with undiagnosed learning and motor function disabilities. Right. Like a lot of this stuff gets swept on the rug. A lot of this stuff isn't talked about. Oh, that boy just that boy just he just lazy. Yeah. No, he's dyslexic. No, we got to take time to figure that. We don't want to be labeled unnormal,
right,
or not normal. Like people afraid to be different, and it's not something that's your fault. Dyslexia, it's not something you choose. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, God is handing down all of these attributes and blessings, and he's like, no, God, I don't want coordination. I don't want none of that. Give me dyslexia. That's what I want.
That's what I want. Nah, it's
No,
not like that.
but you don't want your kid to be like, man, okay. I want to walk through this story. I'm gonna make it quick. I'm not as good of a storyteller as Uncle Freezy, but there was a young lady, right? Uh, she had a child. The child was born with heart issues. The baby had to get a heart transplant. Like, he's had like 3 or 4 surgeries on his heart.
Okay.
Um, um, through the grace of God and modern medicine, a lot of people praying and whatever. This kid he's alive and well. This
Right.
There was a point in time where we didn't think he was going to make it to the next day, right? And if you see him now, when he takes his shirt off, there's a deep scar in the middle of his chest, right?
I got scars like that on my legs.
The keloid
yeah.
scars. Yeah. I got them. I got some of those too, right?
Yeah.
So, and this has been happening to this. This kid has been in and out of hospital since he was born. Now, because you're having heart issues and you're having these surgeries, they pump you full of steroids, right? And that had an adverse effect on him, right? It stunted his growth. Right? And it was clear, he was he was he couldn't. I'm trying not to get emotional about it. It was like he was just slow, man. And it wasn't his fault.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, he was just way behind everyone else.
Right.
But most of us understood why, right?
Right.
And so they try to talk to his parents, like, hey man, maybe y'all should get this, this guy, this kid into, a program where there are other kids with learning disabilities.
Right.
Ain't nothing wrong with that boy. That boy gonna be fine. The Lord done blessed him. He done lived
Right.
Yeah. We're grateful for that. But something is not right. Like, he needs extra help. Denial, man. Denial.
Yeah, they be in denial, bro.
Like, it was heartbreaking, man. It was just heartbreaking watching him go through life not getting the help that he deserved and he could have gotten. And it was like, yo, now that I see, like, he's wonderful person, man. Wonderful person. Just a joy to be around. But you look and you go like, man, if somebody would have helped him earlier in life, he could be this wonderful person and some. You know what I mean?
Right.
But now he gets the the greeter job at Walmart. Right? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And truth be told, man, he didn't have to, like, he could learn. You know what I'm saying? Like, when people took their time with him and walks him through things, he could get it. Right. But I said, you know what? Now he's going to be, and he's personally, I think he's where they want him, at home with them. And I'm like, man, he could have been a productive adult on his own, right? Had you guys allowed him to get the help that he needed when he was younger, right? But because you didn't want people, I don't want to call this person out their name because I know they're probably going to see this. But yo, you could have got him some help, man. But you didn't want people to look at you like your ego and your insecurities was so high that you didn't want the short bus to pull up in your yard. You didn't want people to know that he was going to the trailers and not the big building. Like, what type of shit is that? Excuse me. I apologize.
Ain't.
Like, what you understand? My frustration is like, yo, you could have got him some help, but you didn't want people to look at you some type of way. And I'm like, F them people. This is your kid. This is your kid. And now
right. I feel you. But we've been like that for a long time, no Chuck. We've been like that for a long time. But hey man, I gotta rock. I gotta get it because it's 10 already, man.
Yes,
and
sir.
I gotta do the KMD and then a couple of other things. Conversations like this one should not be, you know what I'm saying, have time restraints on it. You know what I'm saying? But everybody's got, you know how it is. So yes, everybody, I'm gonna do the next morning drive in a few minutes. I'm gonna grab some sustenance real quick, get fueled up for this 3-hour-long marathon about how Tom Thibodeau's rotations suck. Y'all know how that go. I'm trying to do something healthy. Chuck, I'm gonna get out of here, man. Get this thing started, man. Hey, man. Hey, Chuck, you want to piece them up?
Yeah, man. I want to thank everybody for coming out, man. Thank you for joining Vibes and Stuff Live this morning, making this show amazing. We'll be back here tomorrow at 7:30 till about 9:30. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.
Peace, y'all.